everybody, this is Richie from the Metal Cell Podcast, the show. Give a shout out to our sponsors, Rising Suns Brewery, the award-winning brewery from Cork. So I'm delighted to welcome Luke and Keith from Dog Tired. How are we, lads?
All right.
Oh, we're good. How are yourselves?
Great to have you, man. And of course, Evan, my lovely co-host down the corner.
What's the crack?
You kind of going for the Eminem look again, Ever?
Do you know what? I think that joke is the equivalent of walking into a pub and someone going, "You're Bard." Like, I expected better from everyone, but I realised I don't have any expectations for anyone anymore. Like,
it's good, man. It's good. I'm not sure that I prefer the blue look or I think the blonde look is better, actually.
I literally, that's what I was doing before I got here. I was going to dye it blue, but sure, I fucking wasn't arse in the end. I might do it tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah. So, lads, you've had a busy few weeks. We'll talk about that, and there's some nice gigs coming up as well. So we'll give a few shout outs, bands that will be helping you along your way in Ireland. So maybe the first thing we'll talk about is, how did the year start for you? Were you recording? Were you busy writing music?
The start of the year essentially started with us going, fuck, we've got an album coming out soon. We need to actually...
I was trying to remember that. Were we still in lockdown at the start of the year? Or have I made that?
Aye, no, fuck, we were.
I think we were. So, like, at the start of the year, I'm pretty sure, honestly, I get lost with these past couple of years.
Yeah.
But at the start of the year, we were in lockdown for a bit of it, and then it got to the stage where you could jam, and me and Luke basically went in and just blasted through. Did a lot of writing for the album, well, a lot of honing of things like that.
But then there was a couple of tunes that are belters on the album that were like, shit, we need to complete this album. So in case 2 jams, and we're like, that sounds like a fucking great song. Next song.
Wow.
But yeah, like we basically just did a lot of recording in the room, a lot of jamming with me and him, and then getting obviously Barry and Chris in for bits of input and things like that as well.
And then come, it was May. It was actually Red Crust Festival that we played. That was like our last gig for a bit, and that was with 10 Ton Slug. And they came over here, and it was a whole fucking weekend of just absolute carnage. Where, as well as a festival, 4 men from Galway partying hard in my house as well. It was great.
Giants, like,
and I bet you they picked up every bit of litter after them.
They were fine guests.
Trail of slime.
It turned out it was at the same time as, like, we have this. We're from a town called Berwick, and it had the kind of the gala day, but they like to call it something fancy, so it's called the Hunter and Lass Berwick Parade Day. Just so happened there was 4 men from Galway involved in it as well. Like, you got photos of Ronan like.
Any time that you crush Ireland and Scotland together, you're guaranteed that it's going to be messy.
That's definitely true, yeah.
It was definitely messy. Red Cross was 3 days, and by the 3rd day, I think I made it for maybe 2 hours, 3 hours at most.
At least you made it.
I got a round of applause from the bar staff.
That's either like a brilliant sign or an absolutely horrible sign.
Applause.
Which way you're going to look at it?
There was a lot of shame.
Shame and heavy guilt. It kind of helps and makes it worse at the same time.
And where was Red Crust held in? Was it in Edinburgh? Was it in Bangor?
It was an amazing festival because it was mainly set in the big venue, the La Belle and Gel in Edinburgh, fucking class venue.
Yeah,
so it was like, imagine, like, say from 1 p.m. till 10, it was there, and then it just finished. There was no after club night or anything like that. And then there's a famous metal pub called Bannerman's just across the street, and then just up the street you have Banshee Labyrinth as well. So just bands would continue in there after 10 till about 3 in the morning. So folk would just naturally filter out looking for more gigs, but they would just go to smaller venues for it. So it worked really well.
It was amazing. The wee venues were rammed as well. I played with my other band Hammer. We played on the sort of pre-night on the Thursday. It was also Thursday as well, Jesus. Yeah, so we played the pre-night on the Thursday in Bannerman's.
Started drinking with on that night.
Yeah.
This is where it all goes wrong. Like.
We got it together for the Friday, but it was a Saturday, Friday night Saturday.
It was a total rammed gig on the Thursday, and then we got to the Friday when Dog Tired were playing, And then Duncan was like, "Oh, hammer up for playing again at midnight." I was like, "Oh no!" I mean, there's going to be no one there. Everyone's seen us yesterday, so no one's going to give a shit anyway. And then our guitarist really wanted to do it, so I was like, "Right, fine, we'll do it then. We'll do it. I'll be knackered and I'll be drunk, but we'll do it." Played it. It was even better than the night before. I was absolutely rammed. I was like, "What's going on here?" Like, LaBelle, amazing venue. It was Red Cross was put on by Duncan Mountain, who's been helping us out with getting gigs and stuff. He's a great guy. And I think it's only going to get bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, definitely going to have to get over there for that.
Yeah, it seems amazing. Like it's an annual thing that they have it at. It's not like biannual.
That was like the second one, and like it was going to make it annual, but I think Duncan was just being kind of smart about like he's just seeing stuff down south with like festivals kind of collapsing quite a lot and stuff like that. So he's just thinking he just wants it to be a sure thing, I'm sure. So it's not happening next year, but I think it will be happening the year after, kind of thing. So,
okay.
So maybe he's going to do it like 2 yearly kind of thing, just to and big it up. So it'll be a huge thing.
Whatever he does with it, it'll be big. I think it's good. The next one's going to be probably huge. Like, that one was huge. That was a great gig. Like,
and the lineup on that, is it varied, lads? Is there different genres?
Very varied.
Oh yeah,
represented.
What was that American band? Guys, they were really like super happy that they were in Scotland. But I think they were from like Texas or something like that. They played like total desert rock, and that was right next door to like death metal. It was fucking great. Like, totally.
He had some like Glaswegian power metal, I'm sure, as well. And he was like, "Oh, they were actually amazing." And a lot of it's like there's like stoner, there's like post rock, there's metal, there's Raging Speedhorn on the Friday.
Yeah, so it was like the same night as Raging Speedhorn, and then the Sunday was Church of the Cosmic Skull. So that shows the kind of how varied it is.
And Saturday was Conan.
Yeah, I know Below the Neck played at that as well, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
They did actually, yeah. With Finbar on, he was on about that.
Finbar,
I think that was their first time playing it, and he fucking loved it. Was it?
I think he's been having a good time with it. Like, I think I'm yet to see them, and I would really like to. So I'm definitely going to try and catch them soon.
Oh my
Unless
God!
I was really drunk and seen them.
Sick.
They're another fucking great Scottish band, man, that have just developed fantastic ties with us over here.
Yeah,
courtesy of Evan, really.
I'm writing them down so don't forget, man.
Dude, man, absolutely. Wall to wall bangers, like.
Nice.
Yeah. When were you over in Scotland there for your tour? Was that around May? Was it June? I can't remember.
April leading into May. It was Glasgow and Inverness, and then a drive from Inverness
to Portsmouth, was it?
Fucking hell!
So
it's not an easy feat, like, especially.
I was great.
Raining the whole way.
It didn't bother me. I wasn't driving, so I didn't give a shit.
Inverness is actually quite nice. Like, northern Scotland. It depends on the weather, obviously. But
I think we were just in such a good mood that we could have been in the car another 10 hours, and it actually wouldn't have made a difference because we knew we were going to another gig, so it was like whatever. We had a good crew with us, so it was, it was actually.
I think it was Below the Neck had to go to Portsmouth for a gig, wasn't it? As far as I can remember, and that was just like awful, man. Inverness to Portsmouth.
Oh yeah, but that was when they were coming over here, wasn't it? To get for the tour just gone, just to get the.
I'm not sure, man. That's like fucking 8 or 9 hours, man. You'd be in Peru if you were fucking playing. Sick, like. So you were working away with the new songs, getting them ready. Jamie is involved again. Jamie Gilchrist, yeah.
Jamie's the guy. He looks visibly older than we've got.
He's definitely
aged through another album.
He's cut his hair and everything.
Like he's just fucking given up. It's been ace. Like we started recording in September. And we did a big run out there, and it was great. It was loads of issues and problems and that, with like different guitars and stuff like that. But now it is complete, and we're in the kind of final mixing stages now, which is really cool, and it's sounding pumping.
I wouldn't doubt you.
So Jamie's basically, he's got this thing finished in his garden, which is like his own recording studio, just at like the bottom of his garden. Mm-hmm. And we recorded it all in there, and it's amazing, like great place. And also his wife Laura, also from King Witch, is doing the artwork again.
So we've seen the kind of the first kind of image of what it's kind of going to look like. And Laura was like, "But remember, it's not finished. We're thinking about this and all that." And I was like, "That's fucking cool."
Yeah, we'll take it as it is.
How did you manage to find out exactly what was in our heads again from a drunk conversation in a pub? That's exactly what happened.
Like she did some job on the electric abyss. Like,
I love that cover, and I think it looks at its best on the actual album. So everyone should buy the album. It's like a folded sleeve sort of matte colour. It just looks amazing. Like it's probably the best it's looked. I'd like to get a vinyl at some point just to have it huge.
Yeah, big class.
Yeah. It's looking cool. The album sounded banging.
It sounds great.
Even kind of putting it side by side with the old one, which obviously we love, and that it's cool to feel like it's like the next step.
Yeah.
And it sounds more evil and heavy and disgusting, and that's just seems to be the way that things go.
Yeah, exactly.
I said that the other day. Basically, as long as you don't get bigger famous, your albums will keep getting heavier.
Yeah.
What do you think was kind of different, even, or was there anything that you changed, like even with how you were writing or anything like this? You know, I think everyone's sick of lockdown stuff.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's nice. I like hearing. A lot of bands kind of had to adapt to a different way of writing, or other bands had kind of built up so much like aggression or whatever it is that they need, that when they did come back to rehearsing and writing again, they were just that there was ideas left, right, and center. Like what way did that kind of work for you?
I think it was a case of both, pretty much. What you're saying, it's like, ideas wise, or just the kind of general vibe of just absolute violence we wanted to go for was there. But I definitely had an idea. Even over lockdown, we couldn't jam together. I didn't want to. Every guitarist has done that. I've done it as well. When you have like, oh, I've got this whole song, and this is the way it should go. Yeah. And that's cool sometimes, but this time it was definitely like, no. Once we were allowed to just get in the room ourselves, it was like, I've got like 3 or 4 riffs that could be in this song. Fuck it, there's no rules.
I think because there was points where it was just me and you for a while, it gave you a wee bit of time. You didn't feel like you had to go through your old songs. You didn't feel like you had any of that pressure of, well, the whole band's here, we should probably do this, we should probably do that. We were just like, there was jamming, so that's when you get your nastiest riffs. When you've written like a full song and you've not got a riff for the end, and then you just play the song and kind of see what comes up.
But there's some mad riffs, just like total mad riffs that you're like, that wouldn't have ever came about unless we were just fucking about, like jamming.
And there's a certain feeling that
about yourself.
Although I'm also liking this because Barry seems to have gone away and added a lot of his own flavours, like on the bass. Yeah. So there's quite a lot of stuff that he's doing, especially in the instrumental tuning it. Yeah. That he's just like, he's written his own little bits, which isn't something that he's an amazing bassist. He always is like been able to keep up with the riffs that he writes, because every fucking tale is different.
I have noticed that recently. None of this.
But being able to keep up with that is good enough in itself, but then also to be then starting to add in his own layers completely and stuff like that is cool. Like it's been really good.
Yeah, that's it.
And also we were clearly annoyed and wrote a heavy, nasty album.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be heavy.
And how many songs are you touring with that are new at the moment?
Well, so right now we're this is the thing, because we're touring the UK when Barry's there with 3 of the brand new ones. We want to save a lot of them, but when we're coming over to Ireland, Barry can't actually make it. This is the first gig that second gig he's missed in 18 years. So he's sacked.
Yeah, how dare he, like.
Fucking bastard. Right, so it's our pal Jack who's filling in. But because we didn't have like a full recorded version of one of the tunes that's kind of like, at the time that he was learning them, it wasn't like kind of fully together for him to hear it back. We're just doing two of the new ones.
Also, the other new one is completely tuned to like G,
which is another.
So you need another guitar for you as well.
In the band.
Yeah.
And is Jack in another band? Yeah.
Jack used to be in Perpetua, like a band back in the day with Kieran. What's Kieran's second name again? Kieran, the guitarist in Perpetua. He was just one of these guys that every guitarist in the world goes, "You fucking dick," because he's that good.
Gary Holt gave him for a guitar clinic and gave him a shout out and said, "That's Kieran," and got him on stage.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Free tickets to the last Slayer gig ever. And
Paul Gilbert got him on, and they did like a guitar duel just because he was there and stuff like that. Like, he's mental.
Yeah. Jack's in his band.
No pressure. pressure, like.
Yeah, I forgot about Jack.
Jack's also in a band with me in an Axor, so he's a bassist in an Axor, so we kind of jammed together for years. So
okay, it's a good call.
Yeah.
And this is album number 5, lads, is it?
5.
Five.
Fucking hell, mental.
Yeah, the first one was like done on the dance floor of a club that we used to go to.
Free.
And it's not online or anything like that, but we've had people asking for it. It's going to end up being like our power metal from Pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, no.
We'll get it. Like,
you can't hide it.
But yeah, like...
Fifth album, 10 tracks. It's going to be a banger. Like, and that'll be next year that's coming out. So, like, thinking probably around about summer. That's what I'm getting. Not, but it'll be out.
If he come on this next year, that'll be the 4th appearance on the podcast, and bands will be seriously fucking questioning you.
Is that them on that podcast again?
What shit do the Scottish lads have on Richie?
It'll be a bad thing though for coming on being like, it's going to come out in the winter. It's like, oh, yeah. Just keep pushing it back.
What?
It's on about plans, right? Talk to us about, I can't even pronounce this, Spectacle Festival in Norway.
Yeah, that was devastating.
It was. I mean, because I was following you on social media, and there's this fucking picture, which is now going to be almost legendary, of all the lads sitting back, going, we're on the way.
Yeah, having pints, free like airport pints and everything, and we'd been through security, so we'd already shown all our stuff in that. We got up to the boarding gate, and then we got through, all of us, but Luke's passport. The woman was looking at it and was like, no, this isn't acceptable. And it was like, what? And it expires May next year. So it expires like well over the 6 months that we got told from Brexit, you need to have 6 months on your passport. It was about 9 or something that you had.
Yeah.
And then they said that 2 days ago in the airport, they changed the rule so that it was 10 years from issue and your expiry date's just...
So essentially like any British passport that has an expiry date on it is a lie. But they decided that without telling anyone.
And 2 days is the thing, like 2 days before, do you know?
Yeah, and I was like, I think it was a case of the lassie had made up her mind before I even got to the counter.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say she's a bit of a fucking...
There was no kind of getting round it or anything like that. She was just a job's worth, to be fair.
And
that's being nice.
And it's because of Brexit, and you're sitting there thinking, I didn't vote for Brexit. But
this isn't my fault.
There's the salt to rub into the wound, like.
Yeah, totally.
What airline was it with, lads?
It was with Norwegian Air, but the lassie was part of like Edinburgh Airport. Definitely, it wasn't really part of
the shittiest thing about it is not even in the EU.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
But because the rules have changed, because we went out of the EU, places just aren't accepting it anymore. Also because our country kind of looks like dicks in the eyes of the world, so it's kind of fair enough.
But that's not our fault.
It's definitely not your fault. Nobody's blaming the Scots for this.
It was like truly dark days that day. We all came back here and we're like, fucking, what we're going to do? What can we do? Just drink cans. Profusely drink cans. Get absolutely away with it, because that obviously helps your mental health.
Just look, you'll forget it even happened. Like,
yeah, totally. Nah, to be fair, it was that kind of absolutely kicking myself for like 2 days. Again.
And how are you to know?
There's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't have known that. Like, it's because you had 9 months on your passport, nobody would have thought that was going to
and especially this year, I've been like up there and everywhere, like in Canada and New York. And
I was just going to say, you were in America.
Yeah, totally.
America.
And you just obviously looking at it, being like, right, this will probably be the last time I can travel before that kind of 6 month thing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you're thinking through all this stuff, and then suddenly just getting that thrown in your face. You're like, oh. But again, it's like it was gutting for us, but. I got into obviously lost all the money, but I was gutted for the festival as well. You know what I mean? I booked that with Pal, who's over there. He's an absolutely great guy. Had us booked on before COVID. And we booked on for that long, and it was like constant phone calls with him, like just planning things out.
I got phoned like 3 times.
It was all set for him to like essentially. I think any band in this metal in Norway gets treated like royalty anyway. So we were like so looking forward to it. And I just feel gutted for him because we put him in a really horrific situation the day before suddenly having a gap in your festival, so it's like and
plus it was even more devastating because the festival's changed over 3 years, obviously. The bands that are playing have changed. Yeah. And then it was suddenly that Leak or Lick band, I don't know how to say it.
Lick.
They're fucking amazing. And they were suddenly headlining. They just got on just before, so we would have been like one band before them.
No.
And we were totally cheesing about that, just like thought it would have been fucking amazing. And then
it didn't happen.
It was devastating, so I'm not going to dwell on it too much.
It's one of these things. I always feel like 18 years we've been a band, and even just looking at that year that we played Bloodstock, and we're hearing these horrific horror stories of like party cannon, someone getting COVID like the day off when they're traveling.
Yeah.
I was so good for them. I was like, that is like horrific. Yeah. And it's like, bad things happen, and I think it's a cycle, and we've been absolutely fucking lucky for like years. And even right over COVID, we were lucky as with gigs and stuff like that. And bad luck unfortunately comes, and it's just about dealing with it, moving on.
Yeah, you've got another 10 years luck with that now, like
totally.
And then you played Revolution Festival.
So Revolution was cancelled, and it's now.
Was it cancelled?
No, it was shortened. So there was 3 days, and then they changed the lineup.
Right.
So they changed the lineup, and it went to like a one-dayer with a lot less people because of like costs, I think. But then the people that did Revolution have got us on the Sophie Festival, which is this Saturday in Manchester.
So nice.
Because originally it was with like truck fighters and things like that. We've had a few things of bad news this year.
But you know what? I think that's actually bands as well, and festivals and promoters have had.
I think it's become a lot easier for big bands to just cancel on a whim as well.
Yeah,
like it seems to be just happening where people are like,
did Anthrax cancel their Irish dates with yourselves? Because they were doing, that's brutal, and they're only doing the UK or some shit, which is
correct.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people now are like, even with tickets and stuff, a lot of things, it's Irish enough as it is, and I think they do it over year way a lot, but it's even more now that people are leaving it until like the week before a gig, then they'll start buying tickets, because we've never seen so many cancellations as much. Even like we're talking while COVID was first started and everything was getting cancelled, there's like a lot of things that you're still just like, if it's a band that has to travel, there's a question mark over it at all times, because people could cancel for any reason.
We'll be doing our damnedest to come across and play. We'll fucking
just for the record, I have a new passport. Coming to fucking Ireland.
Just as well you're not coming to Cork, because that requires a different passport as well. And password.
I always, if you're coming to Cork, it was just like very being clear with people that I'm drinking Murphy's and not guys.
Drink Beamish.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, I knew you knew it. It was
I thought about Dubs, so thank you for that. I'm drinking Murphy's.
We'll just edit that,
But I mean, Evan, like from More Notes' perspective, I mean, you're looking at the UK, and there's all these interesting festivals springing up in the UK, and it's easy enough to get across. So how difficult is it to land one of those bills, from an Irish point of view?
It really depends on kind of what you're doing. Like, I think I've noticed that if like promoters a lot of the time, when, if you're looking to go over just for one gig and that's kind of it, I feel like that's a bit harder, rather than if you're, they've seen you've gone over before, or it's, you'll be touring around that time. So, it stops it from just being, because like if you have any festival, like for all the bands that they have booked, like the amount of bands that will find a way to apply that, like spelling mistakes in all of their EPKs, and like, forgetting to send certain links, or forgetting to send tracks in general. So I think once they can see that you're like pushing and, you suit the kind of lineup, it can be easy. But again, when you're bringing a band over from another country, there's, you're kind of, more costs even for promoters, like because it's not really fair for them to pay you absolutely fuck all, because you'll make like it's not worth it. Then, as great as it is to go over and do it, there needs to be some level that they can help you and you can help them. That's if they want you to do it in the first place. Like,
and it can be hard to prove that.
Yeah.
I think it always looks better if it's coming from someone that's not in the band.
Yeah.
Because of the fact you'll get thousands of bands every single day being like, here's my band. Rather than I'm a
guitarist, I play Riffs. Book my band. Cool.
That's the thing. Can I get £200, please?
And I think it's like, even if you're really professional, like as a band, if it's still coming from the band, that can still just be a barrier. You know what I mean? But it's like be someone outside with the kind of.
That's the thing. A lot of the time, you can get a lot of help just from a friend that knows someone, even just. Not even necessarily being like the one to get you the gig, but the one to even just mention you to somebody. So, your name is floating around in their head kind of thing. Like you'd be surprised how much that can help. Just like if people they might not have heard your music at all, but if your name like rings some kind of bell when they hear it, they're like, I've heard of them. I don't know why. That's there's something that's gonna play in your favor for that.
Familiarity is like massive in music. Even just from the fact if you've heard a single from someone, then they play it live, you immediately recognize it. If you've heard a band name, you're more likely to be like, oh, I've heard of them.
And there's a lot of bands you'll be hearing for ages, but it might take you fucking months to actually sit and listen to. Like people could be talking to them for ages, but you might just see them live once and then be like, okay, I get what's going on. But it's as easy as it sounds. It sounds easy that, if people hear your name enough, they'll go and check it out on Spotify or iTunes or whatever. But sometimes you really do have to like be in someone's face playing it before they go, oh yeah, I actually like this. Like,
which therefore you need to get that slot on that thing.
But basically, there's no way to do it.
It's impossible. It's a vicious cycle.
Everyone just give up.
I'd like to think though bands would definitely help each other out in relation to if there's a band that cancelled, someone might turn to the promoter, might turn to another band, go, listen, who would you recommend in that? In the band?
Stuff like that happens all the time. Like bands helping each other out, and networking is like the main thing at the moment anyway. Like gig swaps are probably more important than almost everything.
Been doing that for 15 years. I mean, just making pals with bands and just helping each other out. And I remember years ago, it was a case that, especially in Glasgow, it was like sometimes it would be like there's this nonsense of like paying to play in Glasgow.
Especially for like bigger support slots and stuff. It's like you'll see it announced, and I'm like, you'll see someone gets a really big support slot, and you're like, were they asked to do that or did they pay to do that?
I mean, I can see it. Like maybe if it's a bigger band, that like you go and do that, and you're hoping to make it because there's so many folk in the room. You make it. But I'm more meaning just like at a base level. It was just that was the case for a while.
Like
local gigs were like pay to play. It was like, oh, so that's when I started like kind of properly promoting and putting on gigs in Edinburgh. And I remember just like the rule is every band gets paid. It doesn't matter what it is, but every band gets paid. And bands
100%. You're making money off
idea. If someone's making money off you, what's this? It's like, it's money, man. You're a band. I mean, this band is run by bands for bands. So it's like,
and it's weird how much it gets appreciated. Like if you go across to somewhere and you play somewhere you're not expecting to get paid, and someone hands you like even 50, 30 quid or something like that, you're like, still amazing. Like,
absolutely. Like, I think there's, you get that thing as well. A lot of young bands, and like Jesus, I fucking did it for years, where you just want to play all the time and do whatever. But it comes a time when you're like, even now I'd hear people be like, oh man, I love music, I'll play for free. And I'm like, that's sick. But how often do you want to play music, and how rich are you at the minute? Because all of this costs money. Travel, petrol, like places to stay if you don't have a couch to stay on. It's like, no, bands aren't looking to get paid to come out with fucking shit tons of money in their pocket. Like a lot of bands aren't splitting a guarantee 4 ways. It's going back into the band to do something else. Like it kind of builds up. So I think a lot of people think like if you're getting paid, it's split 4 ways evenly. But if you were to do that for every gig, everyone's going to come out with just a couple of pints. Just get shit faced every night, and then like at the end of it have nothing to show for it. Like, do you know what I mean?
I don't think I think it would take a hell of a lot to be in a band that can quit their jobs these days.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. You'd really want to be hitting something massive for that to happen, you know. And even like if you're going on 6-month-long tours or whatever, you know, if you do manage to get it, there's a house at home that needs rent to be paid, and you know, people kind of subletting, and it can be, you know, to jump over that threshold can be scary as fuck.
Especially if you can see bands like Anthrax cancelling a full tour because of the costs, and you're like, as Anthrax are known everywhere.
Yeah,
it's mental, all right, So ye are coming to Ireland. Let's talk about this. You're hitting Belfast and Limerick. The Belfast gig, you're supporting, or sorry, you were supporting 10 Ton Slug. They had to pull out, sending our love to Pavel.
Yeah.
I mean, it must be fucking bad if he had to pull out.
I was about to say, if Pavel can't do something, it's like everyone else would have been dead. Pavel just has to cancel 2 gigs.
An absolute tank,
That man works like 8 jobs in the same day at the same time.
Pavel's a great guy.
Just like when he was here, he was best pals with my dog. It was like him and Roman.
I have no doubt. Yeah,
it's just like
no doubt.
Yeah, they haven't had much luck lately because they were supposed to play again in Limerick. Was it, Evan? Remember Kelvin was out. I think he got COVID.
Yeah. Or was that Dublin? I don't know. Was it Limerick?
Might have been. It was some gig anyway.
Because we saw them in Galway, and it was after that they were supposed to do another one. I can't remember where it was. It was either Limerick or Dublin, but I can't remember exactly. Like
it might have been Limerick actually. But so supporting me in Belfast in the Deer's Head is with Nomadus, who are about to release a fucking amazing album. I heard it. It is just amazing. So I don't know, have you heard of them or?
I heard the name.
But I look forward to seeing them live.
Lovely guys as well.
They sound. Shout out to Freddie and Neil. And Gravity Well.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the Irish bands, because every time you go to Bloodstock, there's new Irish bands that are coming across there. Everyone's like, listen to them.
There's a little bit of what we have in Scotland as well, that like, well, what's in the water? Because every Irish band we hear is always pumping.
Nomadus played Bloodstock actually this year. So they're a band, man. Just sit back and enjoy them, lads. Don't miss them.
Definitely won't be like,
especially for technicality and stuff like that.
As I said, this album is going to fucking have a lot of people just going, holy fuck, this is amazing. It's coming out on Friday, so shout out to the lads. And Dog Turd are playing Limerick on the 3rd of December with Tombs and Slung from a Tree.
I love that name.
There'll be
I'm really looking forward to both of them as well.
There'll be an absolute stink of weed and donuts with that lineup anyway.
You're so wise that you left that as the last leg of the gig.
There'll be no driving for a while.
So 3rd of December is also, it lands, just so happens that's Keith's birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh, you're fucked.
Oh my god.
And then it turns out the 4th, when we're in Belfast, is actually our fill-in bassist Jack's birthday.
Oh, you're
so it's going to be fucking
the end of Dog Tired, like.
If it ends in Ireland, it's cool.
So to celebrate ye hitting Ireland, I'm going to put you on the spot because I've come up with an Irish quiz.
Oh, fuck, man.
Shit.
So it's going to be Luke versus Keith, okay? And the winner gets points down in Limerick bought by me. How about that?
Oh, shit, man.
Okay,
right.
It's not John.
So, Evan, are you going to do the scores?
Apparently, yeah.
Good man. Fair play to you. Okay,
I got told an hour before this to bring a piece of paper and a pen, so...
That's just ruthless.
Okay, so the first one is for Luke. We'll start you off nice and easy, Luke. Which one of these was an Irish comedy about a priest? Father Francis, Father Stones, or Father Ted?
Father Ted.
Yes, okay.
I bet I guess a ridiculous question.
Okay, we'll start them off.
Clint Eastwood was arrested for a crime. Oh, no way.
Okay, so Keith, next one. Braveheart was filmed in Ireland. True or false?
I'll go with true.
Correct. Yeah.
Yes, I didn't know that actually.
What?
Okay. Well, yeah, cool, man.
Isn't there the scene as well where there's a Jeep? I'm pretty sure there's a scene like in the background you can see a fucking SUV driving. Like, I'll have to find that now, but I'm pretty sure that was
I tend to watch it at Christmas every now and then, so I'll look out for that. Right. Okay, Luke. So which one of the following counties is not in Munster? Okay. Have you heard of Munster?
Nope, but let's go.
Okay, so there's 4 provinces in Ireland: Ulster, Munster, Connacht, and Leinster, right? So we're on about Munster, right? So which one of the following counties is not in Munster, right? So Kerry, Cavan, Limerick, or Cork?
Can you tell me where Munster in the relation to Ireland?
Down south. It's down at the very bottom. So I'll give it to you again, right? Kerry, Cavan, Limerick, or Cork?
So which one's not?
Yeah, which one is not now? So you have been in Limerick.
Cavan.
Yes, unbelievable. Shout out to Ronan, who's from Cavan. Now, Keith, the distance from Belfast to Limerick is, right? You have to give us one of the right answer out of 3, right? So
can you give it in hours?
No, it's kilometers.
Stops for facts.
Yeah, how many facts you can smoke?
How many facts do we smoke on the way?
Okay, so
the person that doesn't drive.
Here's your kilometers, right?
Doesn't have a fucking clue about geography.
I'm so shit with kilometers. Like,
you're going to be doing it soon, so right, Belfast to Limerick. Okay, so it's
kilometers.
Okay, it's in kilometers. 365 kilometers, 510 kilometers, or 626 kilometers.
How many kilometers? How many miles and kilometers? What's the difference?
So 8 miles. No, 8 kilometers is 5 miles. Exactly.
Right, and what were the options?
Okay, so 365 kilometers, 510 kilometers, or 626 kilometers.
365.
Correct. Yes.
Yes.
Jesus, lads.
For fuck's sake. Okay, right back over to you, Luke. Name 3 Irish stouts.
Oh, damn, man. Stouts.
Yeah.
What would you consider a stout?
A stout is a black beer.
Yeah,
oh,
gives you an obvious.
Come on now,
Guinness.
Yeah.
Beamish.
Yeah.
Murphy's.
Yes. No bad.
I was thinking it was like, we literally gave away 2. Like.
Has any of them got anything wrong yet, Ev? No?
No.
Fuck, okay.
There's still time right now.
Okay, Keith, right? Jameson whiskey, right, is made in Middleton, Carrickfergus, or Antrim. Jameson whiskey. You've heard of it, obviously. You've drank it. Right?
It's heard of me.
Not a good idea.
It's made in Middleton, Carrickfergus, or Antrim.
Oh, the second one, Carrickfergus.
Last chance.
I'll just keep it at that. Why not?
Okay. Wrong. Middleton,
was the first one.
Was it Middleton?
Yes.
Yeah.
Middleton Rare. Jameson
Middleton
Middleton
because you came to emphasise that one, and then I thought, no, he's trying to trick me.
I would. I feel like Middleton sound.
You still have a chance, Keith. Wait a while now. You still have it. Right. Luke.
Oh, I thought that was me getting a beating or something.
Which vegetable does Pavel from 10 Ton Slug love?
This, what?
How, if you spend more than 10 minutes with your man, you should know.
Is it carrot, a cucumber, or a pickle?
Cucumber.
No.
I was thinking a pickle.
Pickle, yes. Yeah. He's the pickle king, man. That's what he's known as.
He did bring his own food. I just can't remember if it's on the cans. But
yeah, I can't remember more than 10 minutes of that weekend.
Yeah, all right. Damn it.
Okay. Right. Keith, you're back in it, man. You're back in it. What are crew beans? Okay. Right. Pig's feet, fried bacon, black pudding, or mashed potatoes with scallions?
What was it called again?
What was the name?
Crew beans.
What are crew beans? Right. I'll give you the options again, right? Pig's feet, fried bacon, Black pudding or mashed potatoes with scallions?
I'm going to go for the mashed potato one because it's so random.
I would have went for the feet.
No, pig's feet, man.
You would have won that.
You're wee bean.
Where did the mashed potato with scallops come on?
I just threw that in there for the crack.
Dinner, like that's what he was looking at.
So what's the score now, Evan? Coming into the last?
3 to Luke and 2 to Keith.
Okay.
We were on such a roll at the start.
It was good.
Okay, so Luke, name 4 Irish metal bands. Go.
Irish metal bands. Does this include Northern Ireland as well?
Yeah.
10 Ton Slug. Tombs. Oh, I was actually thinking of a band. The Crawling.
I could have done it.
And Dead Label.
He's wearing a t-shirt.
Dead Label. Fucking hell, he's pulled that out of his hole, hasn't he?
I was trying to think.
Hold on a while. Look, right. Keith, name 4 Irish metal bands.
They have to be different.
Yes.
That would be the easiest fucking question to get otherwise.
One from a Tree, Nomadus, what was it? Oh shit! Gravity Well.
Oh Jesus! Like, come on.
And that was my thing going. And then, oh my god, that's going to my head in. They got Conjurer. No, they're not Conjurer. No, they're English. No, that changed.
Who's the band that fucking a class and piece?
Thin Lizzy.
Yeah,
that's like talking about like that's worse than Dead Label actually for a fucking actually is worse than fuck off, you're not getting that. Come on.
You too.
T-shirt, man, the 3-piece fucking
great t-shirt there.
Great Sanger fucking class.
Yeah, okay. So do we have to go into a tiebreak or no? Or is there a clear winner?
Luke won, I think.
Luke is it's 4-3 to Luke.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
How did we do? Was it bad? Or was it moderate?
Look, you're not Irish.
You may want to be, but you're not. I was going to say, look for the tiebreaker, but since nobody got it, so since you won it, Luke, I'm just going to ask you to pronounce this word, right?
Here we go.
How are you supposed to do this?
I'm going to spell it out to you, and you pronounce it. Okay? You ready?
I'm going to write it down. Okay.
Right. L-A-N-G-E-R.
Right, I know how I'd say that.
Yeah, but it's going to be something ridiculous, isn't it?
Go for it, man.
Langer.
Yay. That was a trick question, really. Like.
He did it so well, didn't he?
It's literally just how it's spelled.
Oh, nice. I was expecting something absolutely.
The old paranoia kicks in, doesn't it?
Yeah, so what does langer mean then? And like,
you're just a langer, like fool,
a bollocks, whatever. Yeah. But well done, lads. You know, I mean, Jesus, impressive.
The Irish metal bands one was the one that because you're on the spot and you're like,
I'm telling you, your brain will just turn to shit.
But so, Richie, when you're over in Scotland, you're getting the full quiz treatment, like. I'll be at the album launch. You'll be like, can we just take a moment to stop?
Everyone, please
on the stage here
and look at this man.
Scottish quiz.
Spell Scotland.
Red crust.
100%. We should totally do that.
Because this gives them time to research. I think we should say that and then change.
Well, we're not going to give them the questions. Bags out of Scotland, but then we'll just make it about Spain.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Spell Spain.
Right. I'm going to play some of your brilliant song, Dagut's 9. And we'll give this a spin just to let people know what to expect from me.
You could drop it, like good
Exclusive.
Months before it's all out, like.
me that's part of the set list, lads.
Go like.
Yeah. Always part of it now, like.
Yeah, class. So I didn't realise it actually. I got it arseways. You're actually in Limerick first and then Belfast.
Yeah.
Totally.
How the fuck are you going to get up to Belfast after Limerick? Oh my fucking God.
I genuinely don't know. I'm pretty worried about it.
Who's on driving duties?
They've just got to die in the back of the van. I'll drive.
That's Pish. He's going to get a steamer and throw his keys at Chris and then just...
It has happened on many occasions. Sometimes I forget when you're going down to a gig and you've like played the gig and you're like, right, cool. And it's in my head, I'm like, I'm driving back, that's the chat. Yeah. And there's a pint in my hand. It's half finished. I'm like, Chris, how you're driving?
Yeah, I will kill us all.
This is illegal. Use my keys.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. So have you any other gigs then? Is this Winterfest going ahead?
Yeah, so
that's the Moshville one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Moshville's the week after Ireland. It's in Ivory Blacks in Glasgow. And it's obviously the guys from Moshville putting it on, and it looks like it'll be a belter, right? I think it's actually going to be a really good end of year gig. Like,
it's nice because it's been like, you know, we did the Red Cross Festival in May with 10 Ton Slag, and then we spent 6 months honing the album and recording the album, and that's great, but it's nice to be back gigging. So we've got like, you know, Sophie Lancaster Festival this Saturday, then it's Ireland, then it's Glasgow. So it's nice to be back at it.
Yeah.
It reminds you of why you do it as well. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
and stuff like that. But if you 6 months away from gigging, it's a wee bit different from COVID when you couldn't gig. But when you can't be, you're like, oh, I can't wait to get back to it.
Do it all the time. Like,
I kind of want to get back to that stage, like, see, pre-COVID, where you played so many sort of shows close to each other that it becomes second nature.
Yeah.
You're not even thinking about what you're playing. You can just sort of enjoy yourself and piss about.
Yeah.
Rather than
muscle memory.
So often,
complete peak.
Yeah.
You don't even have to think about the set. You just know it's going to happen. Like, so.
Yeah.
Class.
I think next year we'll aim for that. Like,
sure. What if you've got some show confirmed in? Is it March as well?
Yeah, March,
we've got 3 shows.
So we've got the kind of weekender, and that's with Imperium and King Abyss. So we're doing London, and then we're doing Utoxeter. Never been to Utoxeter before, and then we're doing Edinburgh.
I backed a few horses in Utoxeter. That's about it.
Never been there. No idea what that'll be like. I'm sure it'll be cool.
Yeah.
So we're doing that weekender. That'll be good. It's nice to be back in London as well.
Yeah. Where'd you say you're playing in London? The Black Heart or somewhere, is it, or whereabouts?
I think it's called like 22 or something like that. I'll look because I've got the gigs on here.
Yeah.
It's 229.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
Which I've not heard of, but then again, I don't know much about London and the sort of metal scene there because it's kind of it's within itself. So
I mean, there's more people in London than there is in Scotland. So
it's
like, you know, a lot of ads would just say someone will be in the metal. So
give Pete from Godless Sons a shout there. He was on the show. He'd sort you out. He'd know all about the London scene.
Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Like, it's always good to get a contact in London, just because it's a place that we've not really played, apart from we played a Sausage Factory.
Honestly, it sounds ridiculous, but it was a fucking class gig. We were playing Oxford, and then just the band turned out that we were on like that gig with. They were like, "Fuck, there's this London gig tomorrow. Do you want to play it?" Aye, and he said, "Oh, it's in this like place," and it turned out when we googled it, that was a German sausage factory.
I thought you just meant
honestly,
like just guys in the audience, like.
There's just a German woman behind the counter, and we're like, is this the right venue? She's like, oh yeah, and then just opened this like sliding door, and they had converted their freezer into a venue.
Jesus Christ!
It was a banging venue, like really cool. Really amazing PA.
It was actually really cool.
Gig was heaving. It was sausage factory, man.
So we've learned a lot tonight about sausages and crew beans, for example.
I know all about Irish culture now.
Seasoned crew,
banger, Beamish.
Beamish. That's all you need for Cork.
Yeah.
And you've actually filmed in a biscuit factory as well, so
we have,
Order the vial.
Right, so it was,
I'm going to go on mastermind. What is my chosen subject? It'll be dog tired.
Yeah. The Biscuit Factory was hilarious. Filming that video was great fun, but there was like, was it a dance studio next door or that?
It was like,
through like, could you just keep it down? No, there's literally no way to do this.
It was so open. I've never played a louder snare in my life.
It was amazing.
And we've played Bloodstock, and I've never played a snare that loud.
Classic old man move, managed to slip a disc. Like, whilst I didn't notice until I woke up hungover in the morning the next day. I was like, fuck.
Oh, brilliant. Jesus. And of course, it was all zombies.
It was based off of Prince of Darkness, the John Carpenter film. Yeah. So it was like all the bums, basically, which is handy because we've got a lot of friends that look like bums.
Yeah, so it was like, it was weird when we filmed that. That was the last time, like, because that was them we were just our pals. That was actually the last time we all kind of got together for 2 years because of COVID. So that video was the last time.
Was that Bailey that filmed it? No?
We filmed it
No, because we did Lord of the Vile and then we went to Ireland.
No, we went to Ireland, then came back and filmed Lord of the Vile.
Right, okay, I'll try then.
They're like an old couple 11, aren't they?
I remember we were
Mildred and fucking Maud there, look.
We're in Galway, mind, and you were like, "Oh, my work said I might have to."
They don't even know we're talking about them, like.
They forgot their ear, like.
Mildred and Maud.
No, I love you.
We were just having an argument. Fuck you.
But who filmed that? I was just trying to think. It wasn't Bailey Jr., no?
Alan Swan.
Alan Swan, yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
Shout
out to
Alan.
He also did the Feast video. He also did our long sleeve design and everything like that.
Yeah. Like, you bring in merch with you.
Yeah, we'll be bringing merch,
Hold on to a large t-shirt for me. The latest one I fucking missed for some reason. I don't know, it might have been on holidays.
I think the last run we did was that was not that long.
It's an orange one, isn't it? It's like
a spider one. We've got it's on spider now.
Is there any of them left?
Yeah, I think we've got some of them. I think we've got a couple of long sleeves and then the rest is just t-shirts. Yeah. But we're going to be getting a new run soon, but I don't think we'll have it in time for Ireland. It'll probably be like a pre-order for the end of the year or something.
But we can sort it out for Christmas. We'll send you over one.
Yeah.
Oh, class. So that's it, lads. Listen, can't wait to meet you. It is on again on the 3rd of December in Limerick, Dog Tired, with support from Tombs and Slung from a Tree. And then they're heading up to Belfast, hopefully, complete with hangovers and a few fucking
sober bodies.
They won't be sober, I don't know what, but they'll be in some condition anyway heading to Belfast. They'll show up anyway to Deer's Head.
We'll get there.
Yeah. And Nomadus and Gravity Well are the supports there. Lads, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks very much for having us. Nice to see you, Bob.
Appreciate it.
Hopefully, looking forward to seeing you in real life as well.
Quizzing you in Scotland.
100%. I'm going to be writing fucking questions.
He's already doing it.
Well, Luke, you won the quiz, so I'm buying you points, man. So congratulations.
Great. And it says birthday.
For fuck's sake.
Buy you a pint with Keith's money.
Evan, as always, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it.
What a bodge,
Cheers, man.
And crucially, support your local metal scene.
Totally.